your Barbie, and I'm back with another video. So before I even get into this video, if you're a newer subscriber, hi, welcome to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Like, comment, and subscribe. All that good jazz if you want to keep up with me, because I don't post very often. So I post, it's kind of all over the place. But if you guys subscribe, you won't have that problem. So go ahead and subscribe and you'll be keeping up with all my videos. So enough of the chit chat, let's get right into this video. Today's story time is gonna be about the time where I worked at a spa and I didn't get paid for all of my work. So this happened May last year in 2021, and the place that I worked for, we're gonna name it LS, and the owner, whose name, I'm gonna name her TT. I actually found this job on Indeed because this is around a time where I was still in school. I wasn't gonna graduate for probably another 2 semesters, but I still wanted to work at a spa because I wanted to get clientele for when I did graduate. I'd be able to work at an actual spa and actually have clientele. So when I applied, this place said that it was not open yet. So LS was at another location and they actually moved locations. So the new location TT was hiring for, and she was trying to get new people to work before they opened up the spa, and the spa was supposed to open in June. So when I got hired, I also got hired with 5 other ladies, and we were all there for orientation, minus about maybe 2 of them. But it was supposed to be 5 of us in all who were getting hired. And not only us, but she also had her current employees. They weren't there, but she had current employees who worked at the other spot. The other spot was still open for the most part because no one really knew about the new spot opening up. So she had the current employees working at the old spot. So TT did orientation with us, and she was basically telling us everything about the job, the services she would provide, and everything. And she was also going about new stuff. Like she said she's gonna be implementing some new things for the new spa. So we basically spent 2 to 3 weeks training.
So the only reason why it took so long was because all of our schedules weren't aligned. So we had to pick certain days when we were all working to train.
Going over stuff, but we also were helping her come up with new ideas for the new place. Like we were coming up with packaging deals, we were coming up with new services, we were coming up with decorating ideas because she wanted our opinions on decorating. And when we were hired, actual pay was not discussed. But of course, if you're working at a job, of course you're expecting to get paid for your time. So we were doing all these things and we were technically not getting paid. So after maybe about 2 or 3 weeks, all the girls were kind of like on the same page. They were basically like, okay, so when are we getting paid? And TT would always just be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get paid. I got set up a payment schedule. I got set up payroll, all that stuff. So she would always tell us that she was setting it up, but we never actually got word on how we were gonna get paid. So after that runaround, because she was giving everybody the runaround, it went from 5 new girls, to 4, to 3, to 2, and then eventually it was just me. And I feel so crazy to be the only one staying. I should have jumped ship with everybody else, but she was just telling me people were quitting back to back to back, and she said that she wanted to, it was a lot of empty promises she was giving us. So that's why they were just like, you know what, we're gonna jump ship. But I stayed because she was telling me that she wanted to make this like the #1 Black-owned spa in where I'm located at, and I was really buying into that dream. So I feel like that's why I stayed, even though I should have left given the fact that we weren't getting paid for our time doing all that other stuff. But a part of me was just like, you know what, everybody left, so let me just stick it in for a little bit. It might get better. It didn't. So since everybody else left, I was essentially with her, and since we were only 2 people in a new spot while we were getting everything together, she was basically making me help her organize the shop, take everything out of boxes, put up everything that we need to put up for different rooms. And I was doing all this, no pay, by the way. I was also running errands with her. I was going to Home Goods and TJ Maxx, and we were shopping for the decor for the shop. So I was running errands with her. I was helping her take stuff from her old spot to her new spot, and I was helping her set up everything in a new spot. And it might be dumb on my part because I should have just been like, why am I not getting paid? And I should have just kept on pressuring her to start paying me. But she would just be like, oh, I haven't set up the payroll yet. And she would just give me all these excuses. Like she would just be like, oh, I'm a new time mom. But she had another child, but she had had a baby about a month prior to that. But while her being a new time mom, I can understand that. She also was running a restaurant with her husband. She was a event planner on the side, and she was just taking on too many things, and she really wasn't prioritizing actually training us, or she wasn't prioritizing training. I mean, she wasn't prioritizing the shop. Also, she was always late. Like, she was late all the time. Almost every single time she would tell me to come at a certain time, I'd come to the building at a certain time, and then she would have a client, because she'd tell me that she'd have clients at these times. I would pull up and I would see the client next to me waiting in the car for TT, and we're both waiting. We're wondering where TT is, and she'll text me telling me that she's running late for one reason or the other. And then when she did work on the clients, it really, okay, so the procedures that she was telling us to do, when I was watching her and I was like shadowing her, she wasn't as thorough with her procedures with the clients. And I don't know, it was because lack of equipment, because she did say that a lot of her equipment was kind of older, so she was waiting for new equipment. So she was still buying stuff and she was still setting up for the shop. But if that was the case, then why not tell your old clients that you need to set up and you can't take them at the moment? Because I'm pretty sure if they really were loyal to you as a customer, they would understand and they would wait until you had your equipment. Still something clients. And I remember this particular time where this one girl came in. She had got a body sauna detox, and that's where you put a mud mask on the area that you want to shrink your, like, for instance, like your stomach. Like, you put like a mud mask on your stomach. You'd wrap yourself up with saran wrap, and then we had like these heated sauna, basically they look like sleeping bags, and you would get into it, we'd zip you up, and then you'd basically sweat out the toxins and sweat out the weight. She did that, and then she did a microdermabrasion treatment with the facial, and during the microdermabrasion treatment with the facial, if you have never gotten a microdermabrasion treatment done, there's like a little nozzle that you use on your skin, and it basically is getting rid of dead skin. It's exfoliating, but it's using like a diamond encrusted tip to exfoliate. And you have a machine, and you have interchangeable sockets on the machine where you can change it depending on how big the surface area of the skin is. Basically, she had the machine, but it wasn't hooked up because she didn't have a certain part for it. So she basically had like a nozzle. This is so funny because when I was watching it, I'm pretty much just like, this girl's getting ripped the fuck off. And the girl, I could tell by her body language, she felt like she was getting ripped off, because during the service, she was just like, I don't feel anything. Like, nothing's happening. And granted, you're not supposed to really feel like too much of anything. It's not supposed to hurt, but you're supposed to feel at least some exfoliating or something. So TT was basically using the nozzle, and she was dragging the unplugged nozzle on her face, and she was using like this little metal thing with like a little metal like circular, it looked like I don't know how to explain it, but it was basically like this little metal instrument, and it had a circle up top, but the circle was like, it was an open circle, so it was like a little device, and she was dragging it across her skin while she was dragging the nozzle across her skin, but the nozzle wasn't plugged up. She was basically gypping her clients, basically, because we didn't have anything set up, so she was just using what she had at the place, but it really wasn't working because the clients were paying all that money just to not get the services that they were asking for. So this went on for a while. I was helping her run errands, and I was helping her do all this stuff. And after a while, I did ask her, I was like, okay, so you have me running all these errands, and you have me shopping and doing all this stuff with you, but I'm still not being compensated. Because there would be times where I would run the errands with her in her car, but there are times where it was like 1 or 2 times where I would have to like run out to get something for her, and I wasn't getting compensated for gas. So the final factor of me just saying that I'm out was on this particular day, and she had told me like a week and a half in advance that, well, it wasn't a week and a half, it was actually a week in advance, that she was having about 5 or 6 ladies come in. They were a family, and the ladies were celebrating the mom's birthday. So they're coming from, I believe they're coming from Tennessee. It was somewhere in Tennessee. And they were coming down here because they wanted to go to a Black-owned salon. So yeah, it was the mom's birthday. It was about 5 or 6 ladies coming in for services. And TT wanted to make this like a huge spa day because we were selling a package for spa day deals. So that day was a particular big deal because it was supposed to be 5 or 6 ladies coming in, and we're supposed to be making some good money from servicing them. So on a day of, when I came in, she had 1 or 2 clients before the actual clients came in, because I came in like around 9 something, 10 something, and the ladies were supposed to be serviced around 12. I think it was from 12 to 3 they were there, so they're supposed to get serviced around 12. So when I come in, TT was telling me that she was out of distilled water for the facial machines. And with the facial machines, you have to use distilled water. If you don't, then it'll mess up the facial machine. So she sent me out to get some distilled water, which I wasn't upset about because I'm just like, okay, whatever, it's just distilled water. I can just go up the road and find some. So she also proceeds to tell me that she wants me to pick up some snacks and pick up some vegetable trays and some wine for the ladies to come in. So since I was getting distilled water, I was just like, okay, so this shouldn't take me too long because I should be able to get all these things and get back, because it was like around 10:30ish around that time when she sent me out. So I was thinking I would be able to get back before we could service the clients. So I went out and I went to Aldi's because that was one of the closest stores that we had in the area. And when I got to Aldi's, they didn't sell any distilled water, so I couldn't get that. But I did get the hummus, and I got the pita chips and the wine and all that stuff from Aldi's. So after I went to Aldi's, I went to the Dollar General, and they didn't have it there either. I don't know what it was at this particular time, but there was no distilled water anywhere. Like, I went to Aldi's, they didn't have it. I went to Dollar General, they didn't have it. So I ended up going to Walmart, and when I went to Walmart, I went to the neighborhood Walmart, because I'm pretty sure I already knew they had distilled water, and I did find distilled water there, so I purchased it there. And as I'm about to leave to go back to LS, TT texts me, and she's just like, oh, because I was telling her I was going to Walmart for the distilled water, and she was just like, oh, by the way, can you pick up some more bedspreads and bed sheets? And mind you guys, we did have bedspreads and bed sheets, but they weren't clean because she claimed she had cleaning service that would come in and clean the sheets and the towels, but I never saw them. So I proceeded to tell her that I'm at the neighborhood Walmart. I'm not at the big Walmart. And so she was just like, can you please pick them up because they're coming in a little bit. And she was like, that's the last thing. You don't have to pick anything else up. So I go to the other Walmart. Mind you, I'm doing all of this driving around, wasting my gas, wasting my time. And I go and I pick up the sheets, pick those up, and by the time I get done with everything, it's almost 1 o'clock. And I'm heading back to the place now because the ladies were supposed to come in by 12. So I'm there. I get there like around 1:15, 1:20. And when I walk in, I'm bringing all the groceries in. And then she proceeds to tell me that since I wasn't there, I wouldn't be able to work on the ladies because she had her current, her other employees from the other spot, she had them come in to help service because it was just gonna be me and her. So she needed more people to come in to help service the ladies. So she basically got her current employees to work on them. So they were working on them, and I ended up not working on anybody. Let me not say I didn't end up working on anybody, because I did work on one of the ladies, but all she got was a sauna body detox. And TT was running a special around that time for that particular service, so it was only $25 for that service. Meanwhile, I was promised to do a pedicure, I was promised to do a facial, and I was promised to do a skin treatment. So after that happened, I was so irritated. I was pissed. Actually, I wasn't even irritated. I was pissed because I'm just like, you had me running around doing all this stuff. You promised me clients, and you promised me, because we got commission off the clients, because she did set up a payment. I hadn't gotten paid yet, but she did set up a payroll. So we were getting commission off the clients. So after all of that, that was actually the last clients we had, because it was supposed to be a big day. So after that, we're supposed to be done after them. So I messaged her later on that day, and I messaged her receipts, and I told her, I was like, I just don't like the fact that I was promised to do clients and I ended up just doing one lady. So she's just all like, oh, gas wasn't mentioned before, but I can pay you gas money, and I'll also pay you the money back for everything you buy. So after that happened, I pretty much was dodging coming to work. I was telling her I couldn't come in at this day, I couldn't come on this day, because we were still technically doing training. technically, because the store hadn't opened up yet. But there were still some things that she wanted me to learn. Like, I was still trying to learn waxing. I was still trying to learn how to do, she did a technique with a certain type of nail color, and it was pretty popular. It wasn't done everywhere, and she wanted me to learn that too. So after a while, I was pretty much like, this is not it. Like, I was there for a month and a half, and even not for that first month, I wasn't even getting paid for what I was doing. And I know what you guys are gonna say, like, you went that long without talking about payment. But at the beginning, she was running us around about the whole payment thing. But about a month of me working it, when it was just me, she was telling me that my payments were being inputted into the services. So I was getting commission off of the services, but she just didn't have anything set up for me to actually get direct deposit or any money from it at that moment. So after I came to her about the receipts about me buying all that stuff and for gas, I was also telling her, I was like, okay, so am I going to get my paycheck now? Because we were supposed to be getting paid bi-weekly, but she was just, it was a whole mess. She was basically giving me a runaround. So she was just like, okay, count up your hours and your services and I'll pay you for those hours and services. So I sent that in and she cashed out me the money. And after that, I pretty much was done with it. I really didn't want to come in, but I still came in on a certain, like I came in on a week later, because she wanted me to like watch her do the nail service on one of the clients. When I came in, she had a super stank, nasty attitude. Like, she was kind of basically talking to me, being very passive aggressive. Because I guess she was upset because I was questioning her about my pay and questioning her about paying me. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to figure out why you're mad, because you're having me work for free and you're mad because I now asked you about the money. Like, I had been pestering her before about it, but I was kind of being kind of lenient because I know that she had a lot on her plate. I knew that she had babies, so I know she'd be focused on that. But the fact that, oh, she also, okay, so about a month to me working there, she tried to become a lawyer at a firm. Like, she was working at this judge firm or whatever, at this law firm, and she took the job knowing that she still hadn't set up everything for LS. But she was telling us that, she was telling me that she was going to only be working there during the daytimes, which would give us time in the evening times to work on clients. But she basically wanted me to run the store by myself. She wanted me to come in and she wanted me to do services on the clients Monday through Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, she would come in on her off days and she would come and work on the clients. Basically gonna be running the place. That's what it was giving me. Like, I should have been a manager. I should be getting manager pay at this point if you're going to be doing that. So yeah, she basically had stank attitude. She was being very passive aggressive, and she was just very much like, I was over it. So I really wasn't paying attention. I really wasn't trying to be in the room with her while she was doing the client. And then she would make little snark comments, like, she'd be like, you need to pay attention, because if you want to make money and if you want to learn this, you need to pay attention. Like, little snark comments like that. So after that day, she sat me down and she tried to play nice, and she tried to be like, okay, I want to give you a pay increase, because if you're going to be uptaking all these days, I want you to be able to get a little more of a pay increase and make some more money. So she tried to give me an extra $1. I think I was making 10 an hour, but she tried to give me an extra $1 to manage the place. And in my head, I'm just like, I'm gonna need more than an extra $1 to run this shit. I'm gonna need about $5 extra. And I was done because I already had gotten paid, even though it wasn't all the money that I know I deserved. I was just like, at this point, I'm tired of telling you. I'm tired of like telling you how much I need to get paid or how much money you owe me. So after that, she was like messaging me, trying to call me, text me about clients that she needed me to work on. So I pretty much gave her the runaround, and eventually I just blocked her because she was bothering me, trying to get me to come in. And I just realized that this job wasn't for me, and I just had to let that go. So that's the end of my story, you guys. Basically, I worked for free for the most part, and I will never do that again. So thank you for sticking in towards the end of my video. If you guys watched the whole entire video, you guys rock. If you guys did not, do better. So I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.